But first tonight, Adelaide speed zone madness. You only have to drive around to get exasperated with the constant speed sign changes. I mean, how many times have you gone through roadworks at 25k, then it's 50, a little way on it's 40, then 60, then... Well, you know what I mean. Former cop Ken Magee was so incensed over a speeding fine in one of these speed variation areas, he took it further. A lot further. Vassal Melandris reports.
They're not operating as in the interests of the motorists.
It doesn't make any sense to me.
It should be more uniform.
That's probably why a lot of people are getting a lot of speeding fines.
It's possibly the most confusing and costly intersection in Adelaide.
I'm paranoid about it now. I've got no idea whether it's 60 or 50 half the time.
But for the police and the government, this corner of West Terrace, Sir Donald Bradman Drive and Grote Street is a godsend. The millions of dollars generated from the snappers here make it the fourth most popular revenue-raising hotspot, even though fatalities and serious injuries are few and far between.
This is a big money maker.
Well, it is, and it doesn't surprise me in the slightest.
Ken Magee is just one of the many motorists who was pinged on this infamous intersection, in his case doing 62 kilometres an hour in what was claimed to be a 50 zone.
It wasn't a red light camera offence, it was just allegedly a speeding offence.
But here's where it gets murky. Ken's fine states he was on the Grote Street side of the intersection. However, an official aerial map he obtained reveals his vehicle had actually crossed the boundary onto West Terrace, which is a 60k zone.
So when I went back and had a look at the area, the pedestrian walkway after the white line, the stop line, was clearly in West Terrace.
Ken, who happens to be an ex-motorcycle cop and holds a law degree, began to uncover more anomalies and breaches of the Road Traffic Act, especially along Grote Street.
At the end of the road, there has to be three different alternatives: an end of speed limit sign, a change speed limit sign, or a de-restriction sign. There's no signs there at all. And the government department is, in my opinion, they're obligated to comply with the Act.
In fact, the only signage to indicate the end of Grote Street's 50k zone is mounted a few hundred metres down Sir Donald Bradman Drive, a significant breach according to Regulation 327 of the Australian road rules.
They've made the speed limit 50, but I can't see how they can do that across West Terrace.
And then there's the ambiguous wording of the fine. It's claimed Ken was snapped by a road safety camera.
And of course, the more I look in the legislation, I found no such thing.
So what were you pinged by?
A photographic detection device is what it said in the Act, and what was allegedly used at the time, but certainly wasn't a road safety camera. And I find that a little bit offensive, to be honest with you.
I'm concerned that the government haven't got this right.
Family First MLC Robert Brokenshire has been looking into Ken's case. He's calling on SAPOL, local councils and the government to fix the problem and stop the speed zone madness all over Adelaide.
Sign the roads properly with respect to speed and guarantee us, all of us, that you are not knocking off innocent motorists by virtue of having your speed cameras in the wrong locations.
So you had all your evidence, you were armed, ready to go to court, hoping to set a precedent, and then what happened?
Well, the police have decided to withdraw the case, Mr Magee, and you're free to go.
Surprise, surprise, it was dropped. Is that because the government don't want to have thousands of phone calls saying, hey, I was unfairly knocked off for speeding, I want my money back?
However, in a statement today, SAPOL maintains Mr Magee was speeding and the only reason he got off was due to an internal procedural issue. In other words, a police prosecutor may have missed a deadline to submit evidence or a sworn affidavit in court.
Because that proves that there's problems within the system.
Perhaps if an independent panel was established to investigate these matters, instead of our overrun courts, it'd save us all a lot of time and money. It's a long-held view by leading automotive expert Les Felix.
I believe that we should be looking for removing it from the courts and putting infringement notices before a panel, and the panel has access to all the technical information and can make informed judgments.
We've got to change this. This is appalling as far as I'm concerned.
A man prepared not to cop it, so to speak.